edition of Engineering and You, where we bring to you engineers, proven ones that have done well for themselves in their various fields of endeavor. And they are always here on this program to encourage young people, especially secondary school leavers and undergraduates, to go into the field of engineering. This program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Mrs. Shillon, FNSC, and we are glad to have you join us on this week's edition. Today, my guest is already seated, and we have a very interactive one today. But as always, it's going to be very interactive. We don't only get to talk to you, we also get to talk to us by answering our question for today. And question for the day is, what is the full form of DNA? I mean the full meaning of that word DNA. If you know that, please go call us in the course of the program or go to our various social media platforms and drop the answer to the question. What's the full meaning of that word DNA? And if you get it correctly, you'll get a prize courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Mrs. Shillon, FNSC. And my guest is already in the house, like I said earlier, but we'll take this very short break and I'll tell you who he is and what he's here to talk about. I'm glad to know that you are still there and the program is still Engineering and You. My guest for today is Engineer Suraju Adebayo Fadare, and he's here to talk about an interesting topic. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I'll just hand over to him, to Engineer Fadare. Engineer Fadare, welcome to Engineering and You.
Thank you.
All right, so you have the floor of the topic and your presentation.
Okay. The topic is basically this period is period of faith. We have the lengthy period. We have the so-called Ramadan. So now we want to relate it to engineering. We are going to talk about the topic engineering activities, sustaining the faith in development. So if you look at definition of engineering, unarguably, unequivocally, we know that engineering is application of proven knowledge, proven scientific knowledge in solving problems and enhancing existence of all creatures. When I mention creatures, creatures can be non-living and living things. So engineering is about enhancing existence of creatures, and when we talk about application of engineering knowledge, application of science that is the main difference between engineering and what we call, what some people say, they've achieved this thing, they have achieved that, but you will see, they will say, this is not engineering. One is against proving scientific knowledge. That's where engineering students are expected to have knowledge of science. Is basically science, and that's why today our own language in engineering is mathematics. No matter your language, you should know engineering is basically speaking the language of mathematics. And when we talk about the solution can be physical and it can be abstract. Abstract means what we cannot touch. Example of this abstract is like software solution, and it can be a procedure for achieving something. So, and it can be something like a kind of methodology for achieving a solution to a particular problem. So, and we can see, in terms of human communication, this is an example of how engineering enhances the life of living things. If you can look at what is around us, now we have the elevator at Oluma Rock. So the elevator at Oluma Rock is really showing solving problem for non-living things. This enhances tourism at Oluma Rock today. That is why we say engineering is about enhancing existence of creatures. So and so forth. We have so many examples, like in terms of UAV that we still call drone. Today we have solution which we have different algorithms that assist the autonomous nature of this drone, which means these are also engineering solutions, although they are abstract. Apart from the physical thing like the car, we can also talk about the Tesla car today. This is engineering solution. So okay. Now, can we talk about engineering as a field for development? Yes, we should know faith is about all that we know is certain. And that is one thing about engineering. And that's why it's about proving scientific knowledge. It must be something that is certain. We reduce error. That is one thing. That's why we are full of mathematics. We have to reduce error in our design. We have to reduce anything that we will talk about that we are approximating or we are suggesting. No, there mustn't be anything that is arguable in the design. That's why we keep thinking and improving on anything that we do. So why is about certainty. If we now look at that definition, we should know that engineering is about development of any nature. And if we are looking at developed nature of this world, we will see that is related to engineering activities. And if we look at all our educational institutions, every year you will see a lot of project report, solving problems around us. We will see a lot of PhD thesis, MSc dissertation, all stuff. They are solving problems around us, which means we have engineering activities going on in Nigeria. And we have a lot of companies, engineering companies, doing very well in Nigeria, which means it's about the development. So when we have these engineering activities, and we have related engineering activities to development of a nation, that means we should have faith that there's going to be development in this country too. Now, who are the partners in manifesting this faith in development of Nigeria? So, faith is about certainty. So when we talk about faith, it's not something that we now say is not going to occur, but it must be manifested. It must be manifested. For it to be manifested, number one on the list is the student, because they are the one that will improve on it. It's about the idea conception. So they want to improve on it. So our students must know that they must not play with anything engineering subject. They must not play with it. They must know this engineering subject, they are there for them to develop the environment. So to provide solution that will develop their environment. So they have to know. The mathematics is for them to think fast, to solve the problem, and it's for also their own language. I've read a journal that is in Spanish. Before I tried to convert it to English language, the mathematical aspect of it is already telling me what I need to learn. A lot of manner today are coming with Chinese. But when we see the mathematical aspect of it, we are going to understand it, which means they are in the number one. Number two is each of the engineering bodies coming together. So we have so many engineering bodies in Nigeria, and they are really assisting in manifesting this. So, and they need to work better. So the next on the list is also the so-called organization, engineering-based organization. We have the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, we have Standard Organization of Nigeria, and that will link it with the regulatory body tools and policy enforcement for development of this country. So the House of Assembly is part of it. The so-called, I've mentioned Standard Organization of Nigeria, COREN is part of it, Council for Regulation of Engineering Practice in Nigeria. So, and for educational institution too. So they are also partner in this development. So they are also partner in this development. There's so many solutions coming out every year from our university, from our polytechnics, from our technical institution. So, but all these, we are not seeing the market. So the engineering institution too, engineering-based institution too, they have to work together with the bodies. Although the body are coming every year, sometime Bahama, to accredit all these institutions, but still, how can we bring all these solutions? Because the solution we are seeing all these universities and all these polytechnics, they are solutions related to our environment. So the next is our own self too, patronizing the product of Nigeria. If we are producing it and we are not patronizing it, we are not encouraging the engineering activities in this country. Right now, we are talking about the dollar increment. There must be substitution for all these foreign items. When we solve this problem for us, the engineers, the indigenous engineers, the one to solve the problem for us. They are producing it, but our people will still say they don't want to patronize, and they are better. Thank God today for Nigerian wires. Nigerian made wires are more superior. There's still more other products that they still need to know that they have to patronize the Nigerian solution. So we have the use of this solar power system. The Nigerian solution are better because you can really call them to solve the problem. You don't need to say you want to pay for transport of an engineer from Germany to solve a problem in Nigeria. So it's better we know that we have to patronize the solution in this country. And then we make my conclusion. In my conclusion, we have to know that we still have these engineering activities in this country. So when we have the engineering activities, there is faith that Nigeria is going to develop like other developed nations that we are mentioning today. China, Taiwan, Korean products, we are mentioning that today. Nigeria product will rule the market in future. And for us to achieve this, engineering students at home should know they should not joke with anything related to engineering knowledge. We don't assume. There's nothing like assumption. We believe, I believe in certainty. So anything that will not make it to come to pass, we work towards solving it. We reduce the error. That is why we are full of mathematics, reducing error that can occur in our product. So therefore, the engineering body needs to come to support the engineering institution so that the manufacturer will relate with engineering institution. Whatever problem they have, they should know that the engineering institution is supposed to come out. And the students, alumni of all these institutions too, should know that they have to relate with their alma mater to let them know what is going on in their various industry so that we improve in the institution on it. So the regulatory bodies need to work.
All right.
And Nigerian too must join hands.
I'd like to say a big thank you to Engineer Fadari for this faith dimension that you are putting into engineering. But before there's phone lines I will be opening right now, and you would like to call us. But before you answer my question, you would have to ask my guest a question. I'm sure the answers are dropping already on our social media platform. But if you are going to call us before you answer my question, you have to ask my guest a question. Now, I would like to ask you. You spoke about the faith, the certainty in the fact that you express some faith in the fact that Nigeria is going to get better because of the engineering activities that we have and we are seeing all around us. But the question is, how much of them do we have to take us out of where we are to where we should be?
Okay, we should know recently we have this battery operated vehicle being in market in Maiduguri, sponsored by the state government. So these are one of the solutions that we should know. So recently, during the time of COVID, sorry to divert, we have an institution in Ogun State here. So, sorry for mentioning it, Federal Polytechnic in Laro, they came out with a solution. So, but these are, wow, like recently, they see another battery operated tricycle coming out of the institution too. These are one of the examples we should know. And there's a lot of solutions like the solar power system in most of the area in our institution is being done by the engineering student. Which means the future is there. And there's so many solar power solutions right in every home today. This is Nigerian engineers
All right.
who are really solving the problem.
We have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Adegoke, good evening. How are you doing?
Yes.
Now, the rule is that you have to ask my guest a question before you answer my question. So go ahead and ask my guest your question.
Okay. When I was studying technical engineering in SS3, rather.
All right.
The thing is breaking.
We can hear you. Okay.
Our master was not teaching us about all this engineering stuff. So the man was not like, there is an error in what you are writing on the TV.
There was an error.
Yes.
Okay. So what was the result? What did the teacher say?
He said the question I put before.
Okay. So you are trying to say that sometimes there are errors in science. Yes. What are you trying to say? All right, my guess.
I can't remember.
Okay,
I can't remember.
Okay, my guest will talk about that. Go ahead and answer our question.
What is the question?
Okay, I said the full meaning of DNA.
Okay, nucleic acid.
Say that again. Hello, okay, we don't have much time. We have to.
Yes, I've answered your question.
No, we can't hear you clearly. What's the answer?
Full meaning of DNA.
Yes.
Nucleic acid.
All right, thank you, Goki. I will let you know if you are correct.
Okay.
All right, he was talking about that the time when he was in secondary school, the teacher said there was an error so that error is part of science or engineering. What do you have to say about that?
Okay. The teacher is right about issue of error. I told you we have to minimize the error. So there is no problem in the scientific knowledge. That's why I said proving scientific knowledge. So it's you that you need to fine-tune your design. For instance, that is why I said the solution to Nigerian problem must be by Nigeria. In the design, they will mention temperature. Most of them will be using the temperature they are seeing on their science book in their design, which is not for Nigeria. The room temperature of Nigeria is different. Most of the time, I don't know when you have thermometer, you will see average room temperature you will see is 30 degrees Celsius. So when you want to do your design, you design based on your environment. Yeah, science is environment. No assumption in science. You look at the environment. When you are reading, when you are studying something from Britain, you should know you have to bring. So that's why solution cannot be what you have in Germany.
So you're saying
it must be in Nigeria. It has not been domesticated. That's why they have it there.
You are saying that solutions cannot be imported?
It cannot be imported.
Okay.
It's environmental based.
We have another caller. Samuel, good evening.
Yeah.
How are you?
Thank you.
So please ask my guest a question, then you have the opportunity of answering my question.
Sir, please, what's the meaning of biology?
The meaning of biology.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Answer my question. Samuel, go ahead and answer my question.
Okay, your question. The meaning of DNA?
Yes.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
All right, Samuel, I'll let you know if you are correct. But to answer your question, biology is the study of living things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
All right, I've heard you, Samuel. I'll let you know if you are correct. Keep watching. I'll let you know if your answer is correct. Thank you very much for watching. All right.
Sir.
And to answer your question, like I said earlier on, biology is the study of living things. So as we hit the home stretch, Engineer Fadari, there are so many inventions in this country, but it's quite unfortunate that the patents for those inventions are not owned by Nigerians. How can we solve this problem? The inventions are from Nigerians, it's their brainchild, but if you ask about it, the patent is maybe owned by China, or maybe they have to sell it and all of that. I don't know. How can we solve it? Okay. Glory, how are you doing, Glory? Okay, we lost him.
For the issue of the patent, we have patent being owned by Nigerians too.
I know.
So, but notwithstanding, if the patent is not for Nigeria, still in every problem, there's always solution. Patent is based on certain design. If you can find a variation to it, you have moved away from that patent, and say you follow it verbally. So that is when, that's why some people, they will come out with a new design. You know, you have a cog here, you have to look for a new way of doing it. And the other way is to pay the royalty. You write, sometimes you can write the owner of the patent, and the patent owner will work with you in order for you to use the patent.
All right.
So, and that is based on manufacturer too.
So I'd like to say a big thank you to you, Engineer Suraju Adebayo Fadari. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us on this week's edition of Engineering and You. And I'll say a big thank you to every one of us that have watched this program, to you out there. Now, the question for today, Samuel got it correctly. The answer is deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. So, Samuel, after the program, call this number 0703 161 1497. 0703 161 1497 to claim your prize, the courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC. And as we go, question for the week says, what are the known atomic orbitals in an atom? What are the known atomic orbitals in an atom? So if you know the answer, our social media handles are on your screen. Let the conversation continue in the course of the week, and you get your prize, courtesy of our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon. Thank you so much for today's edition. Thank you for watching. Next week is another time, same time, on Friday, and we'll be here by the special grace of God. Until then, my name is Tunde Oladino. Bye-bye.